Ethan woke up to the sound of his alarm ringing beside his bed. His eyes opened slowly, heavy with sleep. He reached out, tapped the screen, and told himself the same lie he told every morning. Just 5 more minutes. Those minutes always turned into half an hour. When he finally got up, the room was already filled with daylight, and a quiet sense of failure settled in his chest. He knew the day had started late again. Ethan was not stupid, and he was not lazy. Deep inside, he knew he had potential. He had goals written in notebooks, saved videos about success, and big dreams he talked about with friends. But every important task was always pushed to tomorrow. Tomorrow felt safe. Tomorrow felt easy. Today felt uncomfortable. As he moved through his morning, his phone stayed in his hand. A quick scroll turned into endless scrolling. One video became 10. One message led to another app. Time passed without him noticing. In his mind, he kept saying, "I will start after this. I just need to relax first." His inner voice sounded calm and friendly, like a trusted friend. It told him there was still time. It told him one day did not matter. But days always mattered. Ethan had seen it already. Weeks passed, and nothing changed. Projects stayed unfinished. Plans stayed only plans. Every night, he went to bed promising that tomorrow would be different. And every morning, the same cycle began again. At work, Ethan watched others move forward. Some were not smarter than him. Some were not more talented. But they were consistent. They showed up. They finished tasks. Each small success pushed them ahead. Ethan smiled and congratulated them, but inside, he felt smaller. He wondered why he could not do the same simple things. The real pain was not failure. The real pain was knowing he did not even try. That pain followed him quietly. It showed up when he was alone. It showed up late at night when the noise stopped and his thoughts became loud. He felt disappointed in himself. He felt stuck. His room reflected his mind. Clothes lay on the chair. Papers covered his desk. Goals were written everywhere but acted on nowhere. Every unfinished thing reminded him of what he avoided. Still, he chose comfort. Comfort was easy. Comfort did not ask questions. Discipline felt hard and cold, so he stayed away from it. Ethan often told himself he needed motivation first. He waited to feel ready. He waited to feel inspired. But inspiration never stayed long. When it disappeared, he went back to old habits. The inner voice returned, saying it was okay to rest. Saying he deserved a break. Saying he could start next week. Slowly, something changed inside him. Not motivation, but tiredness. He became tired of making promises to himself and breaking them. Tired of feeling behind. Tired of watching life move while he stood still. One evening, after wasting another day, he sat on his bed and stared at the wall. There was no phone in his hand this time. Only silence. In that silence, the truth became clear. No one was coming to push him. No one was going to force him to change. If his life stayed the same, it was because he allowed it. That thought hurt, but it was honest. For the first time, Ethan did not blame time, luck, or motivation. He saw the real problem clearly. Tomorrow was no longer comforting. Tomorrow felt dangerous. Because tomorrow had already taken too much from him. The next morning, Ethan woke up before his alarm rang. The room was quiet, and for a moment, the old habit tried to return. His hand moved toward the phone, ready to silence the sound that had not even started yet. But he stopped. There was no sudden motivation, no rush of energy. There was only a small decision. He sat up on the bed and placed his feet on the floor. That simple act felt heavy, but it felt real. He did not try to change his whole life that day. He only focused on one promise. Make the bed. It sounded meaningless, but when he finished, he stood there for a second and looked at it. For the first time in a long while, he had completed something he said he would do. That feeling was quiet but powerful. It was not excitement. It was respect. He had kept his word to himself. Later, when it was time to work, the resistance came back. His mind searched for excuses, offering comfort like it always did. Just rest for a bit. Check your phone first. Start later. Ethan felt that familiar pull, but instead of fighting it with emotion, he answered it with action. He set a short timer and began. The work felt slow. His focus broke many times. Still, he stayed. When the timer ended, he stopped. It was not perfect, but it was done. Days passed, and those small actions started to connect. Ethan learned something important. Discipline did not arrive as a strong feeling. It arrived as a quiet choice made again and again. Some days were easier. Some days were hard. On hard days, he still showed up, even when he did not feel like it. Especially then. The inner voice did not disappear. It still whispered comfort. But its power weakened. Each time Ethan acted, that voice lost strength. Each time he delayed, it tried to grow again. He began to understand that self-discipline was not about being strict or angry with himself. It was about protecting his future from his present excuses. Slowly, his environment changed. His room became cleaner, not perfect, but clearer. His work improved, not because he was suddenly talented, but because he was consistent. He started to trust himself again. That trust was new, and it felt fragile, so he guarded it carefully. There were setbacks. Some mornings, he failed and slept in. Some evenings, he wasted time again. But something was different now. He did not quit. He did not fall into shame. He returned the next day and tried again. He learned that progress was not a straight line. It was a return to discipline after every mistake. Weeks later, Ethan looked at his life and felt something unfamiliar. Momentum. Life was moving forward because he was moving with it. His confidence grew, not from praise, but from proof. Proof that he could act even when he did not feel ready. Proof that he did not need motivation to start. One night, as he prepared for bed, Ethan smiled softly. He was still chasing goals, still learning, still far from perfect. But he was no longer running from himself. He understood the truth now. Waiting had never helped him. Comfort had never saved him. Action had. The lesson stayed clear in his mind. Start before you feel ready. Start small. Do it again tomorrow. Discipline is not a prison. It is freedom built slowly, one decision at a time.